Hey guys, I'm Jake Guller. I was a Kairos leader on 37-132 in January, and I'm just here to share some thoughts about the road to Emmaus, which is this week's gospel reading. So, if you're not familiar with the story, it's about two disciples who are walking down a road, and they're in despair because Jesus had just died, and they didn't know he had risen. So Jesus appears in front of them, and he's doing little things that kind of remind them of Jesus, but they're not really sure. They're still feeling kind of hopeless. And then they have an epiphany when Jesus breaks the bread in front of them. They're like, oh my gosh, this is Jesus. And, they found Jesus where they would least expect to find him. Um, and they were invigorated, they were filled with hope, and they wanted to share the good news to everybody. And, I think during a time like a pandemic, you know, not that I've been through one before, but, it's definitely a sad, lonely, frustrating time for a lot of people. And it's easy to lose faith, and it's really easy to kind of lose sight of like where we're going to be after this. But, there's enough good going on in our world that, shows signs of our community being stronger than ever after this pandemic. Um, Last Friday, my dad turned 50. My family was super bummed out because we couldn't throw a big whopping party for him. It's a milestone birthday. He's a really hard worker. We wanted to just do something really nice for him, and we couldn't celebrate the way we wanted to. But like the disciples on the road to Emmaus, God acted in a way we didn't see coming, and it wasn't what we expected, but it made his birthday one to remember. So the night before his birthday, my aunt and cousin come over, and they bring over signs, saying happy birthday, Chip, like happy 50th. And then there was a big sign that said honk for Chip's 50th. And my mom and I thought that was hilarious, just like people going to be honking the horns all day. But the amount of honks we heard was overwhelming, in the best way possible. I mean, just showed how people were willing to honk their horn and wish my dad a happy birthday, even though they might not have known him. Um, and that's kind of the appreciation people are building during this pandemic. They miss out on these small interactions, but by just driving by and honking their horns, some of my friends drove by just to honk. It shows how God's acting in a mysterious way. I've seen, you've all seen plenty of social media posts like, oh, like our government is terrible. Like, why won't they open the economy? Or, oh, this is just like so bad, and everyone's getting down uh, about something they can't control. But all these honks were just people making the most of the situation, despite it being a really low point in history. And I think the best part of the night was hands down when my Salle friends drove in a line, and they were honking their horns, and we all sang happy birthday to my dad in the driveway, 6 feet apart, of course. But, it just made his night. It didn't really matter to him who was there. It was just awesome to see God working through my friends to kind of bring us all together and make, you know, a big event in an unfortunate set of circumstances seem so much better and honestly just so special. When we look back on this event, we're not gonna remember it as, a sad time. We're gonna be like, oh, remember when we were in the pandemic and all these people came together to, make this big 50th uh, birthday party happen, even though we couldn't physically be with each other. Like that's amazing, and that's how God worked in my life without me even expecting it to happen or realizing it. And even in the LaSalle community, we see God acting every single day. You know, I think LaSalle is more fortunate than most schools in that our faculty and staff is just so dedicated to making our online experience as close to, resembling what it's like being in the building as possible. We had like a very quick transition to Blackboard Classroom. You know, we had LaSalle Spirit Week. We're having LaSalle Praise Sessions. People are coming in ways we never really thought we would before, and our community is going to be that much stronger because of it. And that's amazing to see. That's God in action. Um, And, like the disciples on the road to Emmaus, we want God to act as if he's just going to end the pandemic. But, the pandemic's beyond our control, and God's acting in several ways. Honestly, just so many ways when you don't look up for him. You look around for him. God's acting through other people doing kind things. We're having parades for essential workers. People are just like so much more friendly when you go outside. They're so much more likely to say hi to you, and you know, just being away from the hustle and bustle of everyday life just kind of makes people more appreciative of everything, like all the time we lost during the pandemic. And it just makes me really optimistic about uh, how we're going to act once this is all over. Yeah. So I hope everybody's staying safe. Keep washing your hands, keep staying socially distant, and hopefully this will be over soon and I can see everybody again. But if not, let's just keep finding ways to help each other to get through this, to keep our community stronger than ever. All right. Love you guys. See you soon.